Hey everybody, Devout Nation here again with another React video for you. So if you remember on the last video, I talked about how Cliff is usually really calm and collected in the face of anger or frustrated or highly intense debates. This is an example of one of those, so I wanted to highlight that. So the gentleman that he's debating with is very high energy, very vulgar, and shouting and all these things. And I wanna highlight how Cliff handles this situation. And at the end, I'll kind of tell you why I think that is so important. So let's get into it.
Need in order to achieve our material basis. If we don't define materialism in our age, if we don't define what our material needs are, how can we have any sort of moral standing? All right, if you're poor, if you work 13 hours a day, struggling to feed your kids, struggling to put a roof over your head, what kind of moral society do you live in that says that's fine, that you deserve that, that because you work a 9 to 5 hour job, that you deserve that, you deserve to live in poverty, you deserve to have on you every single day? What kind of moral system is that? And furthermore, what has any religious institution ever done to help the working people?
Who defines your moral system? Who defines your moral system?
The masses. The masses define it.
So right away, he's asking, what has the church ever done? I can't think of a group that does more for the community than the church does. Not only with feeding the hungry with food drives, they also provide shelter, and they also provide Sunday services and like VPK, pre-K for children for free. Some of them aren't free, but a lot of them are free. So right off the rip, this kid I think he has an opinion and a bias towards religion, and it's already showing in full color what he thinks about it.
So you take a public survey of the masses, and then whatever the masses decide.
The masses go by the material interests. If the material interests are met by the masses, then that is what signifies a morally justifiable system. If you have a religious system that just says, hey, guess what? You know, you believe in this, you're going to do right, everything will be fine in the afterlife. What does that mean for the material benefits of the people now?
So if the masses of Nazi Germany decide that Jews need to be gassed,
you're talking about a privilege?
We gas Jews, right? No, you're talking about an incredibly relativistic culture in which you say right and wrong are defined by majority opinion. Fine, but realize that at times majority opinion is immoral, like Nazi Germany.
That was from an imperialist nation. How do you... You're talking about someone, a nation that had overwhelming material interests. You're talking about a nation that had military supremacy in Africa. You're talking about a nation that was willing to annihilate 3/4 of the world population, and they're still around today. People think that the Nazis died in 1945. We still have Nazis marching down our streets, and all you can think to do is pray for us? No. What does that even mean?
What are you getting so upset about Nazism for?
Because it's back, and it's taking over everything. We have to do everything in our mouth to fight it.
All right,
what are you going to do about it?
Why?
Are you going to be out in the streets fighting the Nazis? I doubt it.
Oh, buddy. I get more than enough opportunities to confront Nazism.
Really? Have you punched a Nazi? Have you gone out in the streets and decked a Nazi? Have you done that?
No. I have never decked a Nazi.
Really? Then you're not helping. You're doing nothing.
No. I debate Nazis, okay?
Debating them?
Why are you so upset?
Them?
Why are you so upset? I love your moral outrage. But please explain to me,
why I'm upset?
What's the basis of your moral outrage?
Because in Weimar, Germany, they tried to debate the Nazis. You know what they had? Street thugs, brown shirts out in the streets, beating people down, calling the press the Lugan press, the lying media. We hear over and over and over again. Fascism is back, and you're doing nothing. And you're sitting around trying to get an audience about, hey, we're going to fix everything. You're not fixing unless you're actually in the streets taking direct action. And you're doing nothing for the material interest of the people. What are you doing about poverty? What are you doing about homelessness? What are you doing about people who are disabled? The people in the LGBTQ community.
What do you think Jesus Christ commands his followers to do?
Community. What are you doing for them? You're doing nothing.
That's not true. What?
So I don't know why this kid thinks that Cliff needs to be the one out in the streets being an activist to be validated for what he's doing in the community. So this kid is saying that you need to go out in the streets and punch these people, these horrible people, and that's the only way to make a difference. I find that incorrect. I think that if you go out in the street and you punch somebody in the face and they go home, they're just going to fester over it and come out 3 times as hateful. Cliffe, on the other hand, takes the better approach, in my opinion, to where you talk to a person. You try to soften their hardened heart, and you tell them the ways of Jesus, and you tell them the way of a joyous, God-fearing, loving life, and try to change a person from within. If you go out and punch somebody in the face, all that's going to do is leave a bruise on their face, and then it's going to heal. They're the same person. Nothing's going to change. You think that their whole worldview and their whole concept of life is going to change based off a punch in the face? This kid is severely brainwashed. I think that he's been so affected by mainstream media and social media that he believes that you actually have to be out in the streets punching people in the face to make a difference, and that's really scary.
What has Jesus Christ commanded his followers to do about the poor, about the naked, about those who are starving? What has Christ commanded his followers to do? Do you have any idea? What has he commanded us to do? If I put my faith in Christ, what does he command me to do about injustice, about the poor, about the starving? What has he commanded? Do you know?
Tell me, what does he say?
He has commanded his followers to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to stand against injustice and evil.
Then are you a capitalist, sir? Do you believe in capitalism?
No, I don't believe in capitalism.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
really.
You're a socialist then, is that right?
No, I'm not a socialist.
Oh, so what are you then? Let's define the terms.
You bet.
Because that's what it really means.
All right, I'll tell you what I am.
Material reality.
You
That's
bet.
what it means.
Let's talk about reality. I am convinced that the solution to America's problems and the world's problems is not the conservative Republican or the liberal Democrat. I am convinced that the problem of the human heart goes deeper. I am convinced that it's an interaction with God, a relationship with Jesus Christ that changes the human heart. I don't care if it's capitalism, socialism, or communism. All 3 systems have been used by corrupt people to rip people off. Therefore, my hope for your future is not liberal socialism or conservative capitalism. My hope for your future is Jesus Christ, the kingdom of God, learning to live in relationship with him. And when you study the past 2,000 years, you will notice how followers of Christ fed the hungry, visited those sick and in prison, clothed the naked under communist regimes, in socialist states, and in capitalist states. So the bottom line issue is not what economic system do you buy into. Why is that not the bottom issue? Because obviously, guys,
Because it's not your
the
prerogative.
solution to human problems is not money. Money's nice, but I can promise you, communism, socialism, and capitalism are not going to solve divorce, sexism, racism, violence, hatred. It ain't going to do it,
That's
guys.
right, because the followers of Jesus Christ have done really well in eliminating sexism, homophobia, racism, and all the rest. That's totally correct. I've completely forgot about the last, 2,000 years of history? Come on, man.
Yeah? So,
The proof is in the pudding. What are you doing?
good. Obviously, Dr. Martin Luther King did a little bit to fight racism in this culture,
And he was
didn't
a socialist.
No, he was a Christian minister, guys.
He was a socialist. He said it himself.
Yeah, fine. But that wasn't the bottom line for Dr. King. The bottom line for Dr. King was he was a follower of Jesus Christ. Did he do it perfectly? No. None of us do it perfectly. But obviously, Dr. Martin Luther King, in his letter from a Birmingham jail, talks about why racism is wrong. And the reason racism is wrong is not because some state or some economic system says racism is wrong. The reason that racism is wrong is God creates every one of us in his image, which means we all have value, dignity, significance. Racism is a denial of the value and dignity of a human being. It's that simple. Socialism is not going to cure the world's problems. Neither is capitalism, neither is communism. They're all different economic systems. And I, as a follower of Christ, will live within whatever economic system I find myself in, but I can promise you I will work for the well-being of human beings, not because I'm a capitalist or a socialist or a communist, but because I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and he commands his followers, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit those who are sick and in prison. Now, why do you, sir, value human beings as valuable? Why? What's your reason?
Because it's in our collective material interest to watch over each other, to make sure that we all have the basic necessities of life. Clothing, food, shelter, these are the essentials that are not being provided under capitalism. The very thing that that you probably support. Let's be real.
You sounded like a capitalist when you started.
Excuse me?
You sounded like a capitalist. Rewind the tape. What did you just say? You said, I am committed to the economic well-being of all people. Well, you sound like a capitalist. That's what a capitalist wants, the economic well-being of all people.
No, that's all. All right, you know how many people capitalism has killed? Since its inception?
Put more food on the table than anything else.
All right, let's talk about how many people atheists have killed.
Atheism killed?
Yep.
Holy sh**. You're the most uninformed mother seen on the planet, and a demagogue.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Mao Zedong an atheist?
Yes.
Mao Zedong was the leader of the people.
How many people did Mao Zedong, as an atheist, murder?
100 million?
Good. All right. Roughly around 100 million Mao Zedong, an atheist, murdered. How many people did Joseph Stalin, another atheist, murder? How many people did Joseph Stalin murder?
40 million?
Okay? So, let's talk about how atheism opens you up to slaughtering people.
I like Cliff's first point of bringing up how those atheists have killed that many people, and that's a talking point. I don't like how he opens the door saying that how atheism opens you up to slaughtering. I don't believe that. But do you notice how the kid's tone changed when he brought up the atheists that did do that? He was finding excuses for them. They were landowners. He was a leader of the people. Like that's an excuse for mass murder. And that's why it comes down to objective morality and subjective morality. If morality is based off somebody's or a society's collective agreements on a certain matter, then you can justify the slaughtering of people. Under my worldview, under Cliff's worldview, no matter what the case, that's always going to be wrong. Have there been Christian, like the Crusades and stuff, that have done that to people? Yes. But if you follow Jesus and you don't follow Christianity and what it's done in its history, but if you follow Jesus, you would just not do those things. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's continue.
Why? Why does atheism open you up to slaughtering people? It's the same answer to the question I asked you that you haven't answered. Why is a human being valuable? You got to answer the question, guys, every single one of you, because you deal with human beings every single day. So why is a human being valuable? Come on, guys, that's not a hard question.
Wait, is anybody allowed?
We're valuable because God created us, and God gave us innate value.
No, we're valuable because we're human beings, and we have an innate value that isn't defined by some ornate religious order. We are defined by our common interest in keeping each other alive. And the only people that want to destroy that are the enemies of the people, and they should be destroyed in a revolution. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Shut the up.
So he was just talking about how he laughed in Cliff's face when he said that atheism destroyed people, and then in the next sentence he says that he should destroy these other people. It makes no sense. I actually feel bad for the kid because I think he's been severely brainwashed by mainstream media and social media. I think he honestly believes that one side of the political party is eliminating the other side. And if you watch mainstream media, or if you get on social media, I can honestly see how you would think that, but it's just not true. It's just not true. And it's deranged this poor kid's mind into thinking that. But he's also being very hypocritical by laughing in the face of Cliff, saying that atheism doesn't murder people, and then saying he wants to start a revolution to destroy people. A little hypocritical.
Is that respecting the people?
No, I don't give a counter-revolutionaries are not going to be respected, and I will fight to defend that. I will fight in the streets. I will fight here. I'll fight anywhere. I'm going to fight for the revolution, no matter how many conservatives come after me. You can kill me, but there will be 10 more in my place. You all, the conservatives, enemy of the people.
All right, now wait a second. Is that respect for people?
Who cares about respect? They want to kill my friends. They want to kill me. They want to kill my family.
Who wants to kill you?
Conservatives and MAGA chuds. That's what I'm talking about. The homophobes. I don't want to kill you.
Nobody here wants to kill you, sir.
Yeah, maybe not you alone, but you and your MAGA chud friends.
No, sir.
You can't do it.
No, nobody here wants to kill you.
You're just being
This Texas state.
So at the end there, even the crowd started to kind of turn on the kid, saying like, hey, this just isn't true. And the other person just said, hey, you're just being an a-hole, like calm down. So I wanted to highlight how Cliff dealt with this situation, because as I do my TikTok lives and do my discussions with people who have different views, I do get confronted in this way sometimes. Not to that level, but I do get confronted in ways sometimes where I'm confronted with hostility. And I think Cliff overall handled it with grace, and I think that is how you should talk to people with differing opinions, even if they get riled up, because when they go home and they reflect on it, I think that if you had a respectful conversation with them and they see that you did not give them any kind of like name calling or whatever, they'll be like, wow, this person was calm, collected, he never disrespected me in any way. Why is that? And I was sitting here and I was maybe they'll reflect in and see the anger inside themselves and start to realize to get rid of this ball of building up anger inside of you, the only way is through Jesus Christ and to follow him, because he gave us the moral standard of how to treat people and how to live in a society that is respectful, caring, loving. Like, love is the biggest thing that Jesus teaches, and I think this kid could benefit greatly by starting his own journey into following Jesus. So I wanted to highlight that because I think it's really important, if you're a believer, how to interact with people who get super riled up or get confrontational, because if two wrongs don't make a right. So if somebody gets riled up at you, then you get riled up. It kind of defeats the purpose of making your point of how Jesus and everybody was so loving. Now, I'm not saying to be a complete pushover. If somebody's getting up in your face, by all means do what you need to do. But I think the best way to handle a debate scenario is to stay respectful, never name call, don't drop vulgar language, and to just take the conversation with grace like Cliff did. So if you enjoyed this content, you've made it to the end, thank you. If you could leave a follow, a like, drop a comment, I'll respond to you. I'm going to try to do more content on my YouTube and TikTok lives. You can come join my conversations. And I always have conversations similar to this, but not this hostile. Usually it's very respectful, and I think it solidifies each person in their own belief after the conversation. So drop me a follow, drop me a like, drop a comment, follow me on all my other socials, which are linked below and on all my profiles. And as always, bless you all, and I will see you on the next one.